I love Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter.
Mm.
Wow.
Books or movies?
It started as books.
Your real one.
Yeah, like when I was in year, I'm going to show my age now, but when I was in year 6, that's when the Philosopher's Stone came out.
Same.
So they read it. We started reading it. It was like a new book in class to read. And I was like, oh, and then I ended up continuing it.
I came out when I was in year 5, I think. And then my dad bought me the first Harry Potter book.
Hold on. If I was in year 6, you can't have been in year 5.
Oh, maybe I was in year... No. It didn't come out when you was in year 6. It came out when I was in year 5.
Maybe I was in year 5 then.
No,
and you were year
4,
6.
Because I got it when I was in year 6, but it wasn't a new book then. So I was in...
Anyway, I've clarified that it's impossible for Lola to be...
I was just like... what I just want everyone to know listening here is Velisa is less than 6 months younger than me. Velisa is less than 6 months young. You're actually sick. You know you're a sick person.
You say less, but when you could hold up your head, I couldn't hold up my own head. So we're different. We are different people.
No, you're actually crazy. But yeah, so my dad got it for me when I was in year 6. So you were probably in year 5.
Maybe.
Yeah. So my dad got it for me when I was in year 6, and I loved it. Like I read it. Like, you know, one of the people that done the kids that reads under the cover with a torch. That was me. Proper sad. And then when it came time to buy the second one of my aunties, and I do that in inverted, you know, family friends, she told my dad that he shouldn't buy it for me because it's about witches.
Oh gosh.
And wizards.
That's how one auntie tried to get my mum to stop me from watching Charmed. Thinking, what?
That Charmed is a real one. Anyway, I had to beg my dad, and in the end, he
gave in.
He gave it, and he didn't tell my auntie. Like, why are you trying to ruin...
He didn't want to be judged.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that, and then... But it's the same way. Like, I asked one of my friends the other day if they're going to go watch The Little Mermaid, which I'm definitely going to watch. And she said, I don't know. I was like, why? Because of the, like, Halle Bailey controversy. She said, no, because Mummy Water. Because I don't want to watch something about Mummy Water. For those of you who don't know, that's like a mermaid, but like in like African terms. Like, it's like a... What is it like? They're like a supernatural, like it's like
a Medusa underwater
like,
kind of thing,
related to like witchcraft and stuff. So my friend was like, "Nah, I'm not sure if I want to go and watch this thing about Mummy Water." And I was like, "Literally, you are the worst."
I can't wait to watch The Little Mermaid. Some of my friends have watched it and they said it's amazing.
Everything I've seen is just makes me think it's going to be so good.
I think so too.
And do you know what I really like? I think they've been doing maybe a bit too much behind the scenes stuff too early, but I'm liking the behind the scenes stuff. But also I like hearing the producer and the casting team talk about how, like, all of the casting stuff, because the narrative was like they went out to go and break the mold and find a black Ariel or something like that, but that's not what happened. Like, they heard Halle and Chloe performing at the Grammys during the casting, and they was like, no, that voice, we need her.
Oh.
So that's what happened. So it was kind of like they weren't going out the way to like be controversial. They literally heard her, and when you hear her, like, you get it. Like, she literally looks and sounds like she was made for Disney. Someone who's like only ever done like what she is. She was in Grownish, and do you know what I mean? But was that shot before she auditioned? Because that was like 2019.
Yeah. Grownish. She's been in Grownish for a long time.
So that was the only acting she had done, and like, it's so good. Like, even, you know, that like viral clip that's going around of her performing at Disneyland. Mm-hmm. Like, she is so good.
She is.
Like, it's insane. I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna love it. Even
love her and not her boyfriend.
Do you know what? I haven't really been engaging with the content around her boyfriend. Didn't they break up or something?
Yeah, because his ex tried to say they were still doing stuff, but. Yeah, apparently, did you know that for The Little Mermaid, apparently it was 150k for her locks to look how they looked for the film?
They paid 150k?
Yeah, all together, like, for all the during production, just to like maintain and everything. But
I saw that they paid they had like people actually on set to do it. You can't cast her now.
Yeah, they had black people.
Yeah, you can't cast her now and expect her to be doing nonsense.
No, but I thought that was amazing. And what is 150k compared to what that film is going to make?
And what that film was going to cost.
It's already broken records.
Has it? I'm so glad. Like, I love that, because all of these people that were like, I'm going to boycott, all these big men that
were saying it wasn't going to be that good. The Aladdin.
Listen, all these men that were never going to watch the film, that were jumping on TikTok to say, what about our daughters? Shut up, man. They were never going to watch it anyway. All the people that were going to watch it are still going to watch it. Like, if you want to deprive your kids of it, that's so sad.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait. I'm going to baby cinema. Like, I'm going to a baby cinema showing of it so that my son can run around while I watch it and no one's going to care.
I literally considered taking, like, one of the young kids in my life, and I was like, I don't want to. I want to go watch it, and I want to feel peace, and I want to go watch it at a time when there's no children.
I saw a Victor Kunda and Moyo. I don't know what his other name is, but they're, if you have TikTok, you'll know who I'm talking about. And they saw it in 4DX.
Is that like?
And it's like literal water poured on them.
No. Oh, is that the one where you feel like the
like everything's shaking? Yeah. I was tempted to do that.
But the IMAX is doing something, isn't it? They're doing it for like, they're showing it for like a month or something. I got some ads.
Are they? Yeah, I might watch it on my own as well, because I just feel like baby cinema might push me over the edge. I can't concentrate.
I'm so excited. Even when you see how they had to do all the behind the scenes stuff, all this wonderful. Obviously, I knew that they didn't get into the ocean and start filming underwater.
Apparently, Melissa, who plays Ursula, doesn't get in water at all throughout the whole filming process. Only Halle. Yeah, but I watched an interview with them.
When I was watching the bit from the Under the Sea song, I saw her sitting. She's riding a turtle, and she's on the back of a person who's crawling along the floor in a blue suit.
Can you imagine?
I'm just like, this is mad.
You have to really get into character with those things.
She's moving her body like they're bobbing along the bottom of the sea, but you're literally riding some guy's back.
That's mad.
I just feel like it takes away a little bit. You're like, oh wow, this is amazing.
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah,
I actually can't wait.
I still think it's weird that, like, with all the controversy around Halle Bailey, like, no one was talking about Ursula. She's purple. Melissa is white.
For real, you've just given me an idea though. There's a cinema next to where I work. Maybe
what are you gonna do when you're at work? You can organize a DI trip.
Oh my god, maybe. They did one for the Woman King, so maybe.
I didn't even watch that.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It's like, again, with that, it was a lot of the men being like, "Oh, it's not historically accurate." What is historically accurate though? Like, so
literally,
like, so
whatever.
But yeah,
that's giving me an idea now.
What has been in the have you done anything this week in terms of your own life?
I went to my first ever dinner and dance for my uncle's 50th.
Dinner and dance. What is a dinner and dance?
So basically, one of my friends, Courtney, she can't wait to be 50 because she wants to do a dinner and dance. I'm like exposing her whole life now.
What's dinner and dance?
She wants to do a dinner and dance where, you have a sit down meal and then you dance, innit?
Oh, okay, calm.
Yeah, but it's
why is that any different to any other function? Is it a bit more like black?
Yeah, it's just more formal and like, you're 50, so it's like really special. Okay. But yeah, I went to my uncle's one. It was really sweet. Like, had everyone in like tuxedos and stuff.
That's so
and
nice.
Long dresses. And it was just really sweet. So, and it's my uncle who, his dad and my grandma are siblings. Mm-hmm. So like all the siblings.
His dad and your grandma. Okay, so him and your dad.
Our first cousins, okay, yeah. So like you had my grandma there, her sister, her brother. So it was really cute. Like really cute. In there, they're all in their 80s and 90s. So it's really cute to see them all like together.
Did they have a little dance as well?
Yeah.
I think I saw your grandma at your son's first birthday. Was she there?
No, she had COVID. You might have seen her sister though. Her sister was there.
Okay.
Her sister gets live. She gets cut. She loves a bit of Vibes Cartel,
Vibes Cartel.
Listen, she takes naps before she goes out so that she can last the whole night. She's
the real one.
She's the 90 I want to be. Myself. Yeah.
I love that for her.
And you?
No. I got a flat tire.
I actually saw that
I got a flat tire. Everyone was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "That's nothing to do with me. I don't do anything to do with my car. I got a flat tire. I just told my boyfriend, and then it was fixed."
That sounds like toxic femininity to me.
Oh, mate, I said on this day, I believe it's strict gender roles. That's how I get when the bin's full. I saw this like a while ago. I saw this thing on TikTok of this girl being like, "Why are you asking me to take out the bin to her boyfriend?" And he was like, "Just take out the bin, man." She's like, "That's not my job." And I've never stood so much in solidarity with someone. I was like, "How can you ask me to take out the bin?"
Can I just say that I'm a bit better than you then? Because I will at least put the bin at the front door.
No, I do that.
Oh, okay.
I do that. I just don't. It's not my responsibility to carry it outside to the bin.
Fair.
I'll tie it up. I won't even put it back. I put it like near the kitchen, and then it just goes.
Fair.
You're not better than me. We're the same. Both of us.
I did gardening this weekend. Do you know what that is? And when I say gardening, I was not planting pretty flowers. Like I'm never doing weeds. I'm never doing that again. It's not.
Weeding?
That is not a woman's job.
No, it's not.
You need
You
strength.
have to get down. Yeah,
you need strength. Like I feel like I went gym.
Yeah, no, but you burn a lot of calories gardening.
I did. I wish I was wearing my watch.
Have you ever thought about having like a little garden, like a little patch where you grow some vegetables?
No, I'm actually want it all to be just like artificial grass. I'm sick of that. The whole garden is like patio. I'm sick of it.
So you get the weeds between the
everywhere,
slabs.
and we've got like we've got an apple tree and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's from the people who lived there before us.
Yeah.
But I want it all gone. Like if I had a
tree
big,
gone.
There's a few trees in the garden. If I had a big saw,
no, but you can't just chop them down. You need to get them up like from the roots.
See, I'm that's gonna happen anyway. Mark my words.
You're gonna
eventually. It's all gonna be like grass.
Okay, but real grass or artificial?
No, I don't.
When you say artificial,
I want
grass,
I want a low maintenance
like,
garden.
Not when they come and lay turf. You mean literally like plastic?
Yes.
No.
I want a low maintenance garden. I don't want to do anything.
The one you have now is low maintenance.
Because it's patio.
Yeah,
but there's trees in the garden. And there's pebbles on like, I can't even explain it, but I'm just
delightful,
done.
To be honest.
I'm done with it.
Okay. I really want a garden. So that's why, like whenever
I'm literally clearing it now so that my son can run around. That's literally why I'm doing it. Because it looked a mess.
He can ride his bike in there.
Yeah, exactly. And just leave me to it.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do anything this week. Fair. Literally nothing.
Sometimes that's the best.
Yeah. What has been in the HR news?
What has been in the HR news? I'm trying to remember what we...
Jeremy Hunt and BlackRock.
Oh, yeah. So I know more about BlackRock than I do about Jeremy Hunt.
There wasn't even really much to it. He just said that as much as he thinks that good stuff has come from working from home, he really does think like the default should be being in the office, because
he's a loser. He's a super loser.
Elon Musk must be his mentor. So he's basically like, he thinks that we're losing those water cooler moments and it's going to stifle our innovation. I don't know when this country has ever cared about innovation, but it's going to stifle our innovation because we're not collaborating as much and all of this other kind of stuff. So yeah, he was like, we need to be more focused on working in the office. And I was just like, no, Jeremy. But then obviously that stuff that he was talking about with BlackRock happened as well.
Can I just say before I talk about that, like, Jeremy, like, you do not work for an innovative, like,
literally.
Like, what
do you know about innovation?
Literally, what do you know?
What do you think they possibly talk about at the water cooler? Do you think in the water cooler at the Houses of Commons they ever came up with any good ideas?
Nothing. He's talking out his a-hole.
Listen, but yeah, that's I think it's one of those things that he heard it somewhere. Like, I really believe like a lot of our like MPs and stuff, they just hear things and regurgitate them.
They're just jealous.
When you had to break it down and you ask them questions, they never know. Even their own policies, they don't know.
Just because he can't work from home all the time.
And the thing is, I think they probably do. What do they even do? Like, honestly.
Exactly.
MPs, they must like do a lot of working from home while they get their secretary to respond to letters of people begging them to help them feed their families.
And he just needs to mind his business, to be honest. But yeah, so BlackRock, which is like one of the biggest like financial companies,
they invest, literally they own everything.
Yeah, have said they want their employees back in the office 4 days a week.
It's exhausting thinking about it. 4 days is a lot.
4 days.
That's like pre-COVID times.
I went to the office last week and I felt so tired. I was like, is this what it's like to commute again? Like, I felt so tired.
That is how it is. And imagine doing it 4 days
No,
a
I
week.
couldn't. I think now that's like a non-negotiable for me. Like, if I ever want to move to a different job, I can't go somewhere that wants me in the office more than 2 days a week. I can't do it.
I just, actually, this is what in terms of what did happen last week. It's very sad. I got so I traveled between my clients. I was out of my house 4 days in the week. On Friday, I got into bed and then I was so tired that I cried. No, but listen, and then my boyfriend was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm so tired," like a baby, like, you know, a baby. And that's why
When
I
they
say,
cry
like,
instead of going to sleep.
Yeah, literally, I was like, oh, like, you know, I wasn't really crying, but I was like, I'm so tired, and he was looking at me like, "Well, then
Just go sleep."
But I couldn't. I was too overstimulated, like literally like a baby, and that's why I was like, that can never be for me again. I don't know how I did it before COVID, but the muscle memory is not there
At all.
It's not there.
4 days a week for me is too much. Do you know what it is for me? And we've spoken about it before. I just feel like, well, actually, if you have everyone coming in 4 days a week, then
there will be collaboration.
There will be, but I just can't get work done the way I used to being in the office that much. Because
it's the focus. It depends what you do.
It does. But for me, like, I just feel people speak a lot when they see me. But then someone said to me, maybe if I went in more,
no,
they
will,
won't they? Yeah,
but it's because the role you do, it doesn't really require a lot from other people. If you worked in a big ER team, maybe there might be some more stuff for you to like collaborate on and bounce ideas or listen or whatever. But even like if you're like an individual contributor and the stuff that you need from other people is really like a day's work or whatever, I don't see the point. I don't see it.
Yeah, I think my role could be fully remote.
You're not. I guess you're not a business partner, so it's not like you really need to. It's more reactive in terms of.
Yeah, I think it could be.
You don't really know who you need to build relationships with. Yeah. If you're building a relationship with someone in particular, they're probably more relationships than the employee.
Like since I started, I can count how many investigations I've done face to face, and it's not because, I'm not around. It's because they're just not in the like we're just not in on the same day, or they're not based in the same office. So yeah.
But yeah, I'm not with it.
I'm not with that.
I know they pay their people well, so I'm sure they won't. I doubt people are not leaving. I doubt people are leaving.
I am
at Black Rock. I was just thinking about them.
Do you know what? Maybe it would be good to see the attrition rates when this actually kicks in, because I'm sure it must be a non-negotiable for some people.
Well, it depends. It depends how well you're paid. Like I've got a client that I do some recruitment work for, and they require people to be in the office 5 days a week.
5 days?
For certain roles. For certain roles which are like, let's say, roles that make sense, like front of house or like support roles where you need to kind of be there. Not their EAs, but they're ones where it's like people physically come up to you and ask you questions. And I have no issue with it because they pay very well. So even when you factor in, it's not like, they pay like 10% more than other people or whatever. Like by the time you factor in your commuting cost and your happiness cost and everything, there'll still be money in excess. So that's what I think. I think if you're asking people to do that, you need to differentiate yourself in some way, and it can't be the feel good factor. Like if you're working at a charity or something, like it literally has to be. I've never had anyone say that it's an issue for them because they're paid so well. They're just like, okay, cool. And it's a nice place to work.
I don't know, but everyone has a number, so
everyone has a number. That's what I mean. You just have to find what someone's number is. And some people, the people, I love when I speak to them as candidates, but sometimes when I hear them in the office, it just sound a bit like knobby when they're like, "Oh, I actually prefer to work in the office." But it's like,
shut up, man.
But that's fine. Like everybody has like a preference, isn't it? And I shouldn't be like judgmental of them, but it's like, shut up.
You but keep it to yourself. Like, don't be shouting that around. Don't start no movements.
If you're one of those people, that's okay. That's okay. This is it's an inclusive space. It's okay. And it depends how far from the office you live. Like I literally used to work like a 20-minute walk from where I worked. Where I lived. And if that was the case, I would still want to go in 5 days. I can't lie to you. But I would have less of an issue. Like the commute is that. Like when people, especially when you've hired people who lived further out in the period since COVID and you didn't require them to come into the office 4 days a week, and suddenly you're saying coming to the office 4 days a week, and you hired them, and knowing that they live 2 hours away, and the one day was fine.
It's not fair.
Yeah, but some people have been like, they have said to some people, at some point we may come. Some companies, sorry, they've said at some point we may go back into the office 3 to 4 days or 5 days a week, and those people were just thinking, nah, that will never happen. And now it's happening.
Yeah, it's happening for a lot of companies. I think eventually we'll be back at 5 days a week.
I think some. I don't think. Yeah, I think some companies will be back. All these companies like that are announcing 4 days a week, they are going to 5 days.
100%.
The ones that haven't done it yet, I reckon they'll settle at a nice 4.
Yeah, I think there'll be some flexibility.
There's some people you'll never get them back into the office full time, and you won't even be able to, like, as a cohort, they'll stick together. Like engineers, there's no way en masse you're gonna get software engineers unless the tech bubble fully bursts.
Yeah,
and they are begging for jobs. You ain't gonna get them in the office 5 days a week.
You won't.
No way.
I think in general, here Velisa goes, but I think in general with the tech industry, it will be hard to get people. Some of them are trying. Like I know Google are trying to get people in. Meta have said if you've been there less than a year, you have to come into the office. So they're trying, but I think it will be hard to go. Like even with all the fun stuff in these offices, I think it will still be hard.
The fun stuff, I don't know.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
It gets less fun as time goes on.
Yeah, like it's the novelty
they gotta bring
wears
in new
off.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, or pay off my student loan, and then I'll come in more often.
Good.
Something like that.
Mate, they can't even. They made some
changes. Bring
a
crash, bring a nursery.
They used to have a lot
Some
of on-site
people do.
nurseries.
Yeah, if they have stuff like that, then like.
If they imagine, like a lot of that is the benefit that a lot of companies would really benefit from, and people it would
what
be.
If my workplace had an on-site nursery, I'd be in all the time.
Yeah, like Grey's Anatomy.
I'd love it. Yeah, literally.
No, but they when I used to work in the building next door to Goldman Sachs, and I know they had one because you'd see people rocking up with their kids. But I don't know if it's for everyone. It can't be open to everyone. It's probably like a normal nursery where you have to either like be on the waiting list for a space, or they just give it to senior employees that they don't ever want to leave.
It's quite clever though to put your child in a nursery near where you work rather than where you live.
There's never an issue.
Yeah,
like if you're home, they're home. If you need to go to work, if you have to stay late, but it's when you have to stay late. If you know that you work in a company, if you know that you have an issue like a company where people have to stay late, that nursery better close at 10.
It's true.
You can't be expecting people to stay till 9 p.m. and your nursery's closing at 5.
That's true.
I actually wanted to speak to you about something. So I was with my friend like last week, and we was talking just about like, you know, if you ever had like a heartbreak and then you have to go into work after. And we was joking that companies should like introduce heartbreak leave.
LOL.
Because like really people can't function. People will be coming into work here, like, you know, imagine going and we were talking about like if you ever had a breakup and had to go into work and people want to talk to you about work and you're there trying to piece your broken heart back together, and someone's talking to you about disciplinary. Get out of it, man.
You got calling sick.
You have like, but how long for? Because it takes some time, you know. I really feel like if I was gonna choose over like bereaved pets, and like it all falls under that. It's all a type of
compassionate
heartbreak.
leave. It's all compassionate leave.
There should be some compassionate leave for heartbreak.
I hear it, you know. Honestly,
because it happened to me once, and I remember thankfully it was like near Christmas that it happened. I just took the rest of the year off. It was like, because I was going to finish, I think, on like the 20 something, and it was like maybe like the 10th or 11th, and I was like, yeah, that's me. Like everybody's off anyway. I just took it, and I took to the bed.
Do you know what? There was a woman I used to work with, young girl, woman, but she always used to talk about her boyfriend, like all the time. They lived together. I
don't do that at work for.
And then one day I came into the office and I said to my other friend, I said, yo, she looks a bit like
down.
She just looks really like, I just never seen her look like that before.
Well, what was it?
Her makeup was off, like everything was off.
She looked disheveled.
She looked so pale, like everything was just off. Like it just didn't look like her usual like rosy self. So I said to my friend, oh, is so-and-so okay? And then they were like, oh, her boyfriend left her for someone else.
Why do they know that? That's what I'm trying to say, because honestly, like,
It's not funny.
No,
but it's the fact that like I looked at her and I knew that she should. And you know what? She should not have been at work.
She shouldn't have been at work.
She
shouldn't have. That's what I'm saying. But because it's not acceptable to be like, oh, this is the situation. Obviously, there'll always be the one person who's in and out.
Hamas was moving in a circle. Her mouse was moving in the circular motion. There was nothing going on that screen. Like she should have been at home.
No, but you should. But people don't feel comfortable to be like, oh, like, why are you not like?
But when people get divorced, do they take time off?
Some people they should. I don't think a lot of them do,
yeah.
but they should, because they come into work and they'll be yelling at people. It's like, don't take it out on me.
It's true.
There's a guy that I worked with, like, at an organisation a while ago, and when he was going through a divorce, he put on loads of weight, and like you could just tell like he wasn't well within himself, but he never took any time off or anything like that, and like we were actually genuinely worried about him, and he just powered through, and eventually he got signed off sick. But we could all see it coming, because you could see that it's taking its toll, and you should actually have time off. But you would have to, the only way doctor will sign you off, I guess, is if it's something triggered by your heartbreak, like stress or depression or whatever it is.
Yeah, no, heartbreak is not to be messed with. Like back in my heyday. My heyday. I remember going through a breakup. I think I told my manager I had an emergency at home, and I just left. Because I couldn't focus. I kept going to my locker to look at my phone, because
I thought you were going to say you went to look at your locker to look at your picture. You know, like in high school when you open, like there's a picture of.
I just couldn't. You know, you just can't focus. I was just like, I need to get out of this place. Like I cannot focus. I cannot just do my job. Like
you can't focus. The worst I ever had, was like, again in my heyday. One of those conversations where it's like I was at work and then it was having like a text conversation where it shouldn't be a conversation that you're having by text, but you could see that I could see you in the text that this relationship is about to crumble like right now. And then we both said, okay, we'll talk later.
You can't do that.
And it was like 10 a.m. I went home because I'm like, what? What am I doing here? I said, no, we're both going to go home. I'm going to meet you. Find a way.
Yeah, we'll
meet up. Because I was like, how can I concentrate the rest of the day now, knowing that really after work I'm about to break up with my boyfriend? Like, what is that? Like, I think it should be like an acceptable reason to take time off work.
You know,
I think you would be judged now. I do think most people would judge you.
But then everybody knows. Well, most people know what it's like to experience heartbreak in some capacity. So really and truly, we should have sympathy for those things. Do you know what I mean?
We should, but we don't. Because if somebody like, I can imagine a manager coming and being like, oh, such and such is still not back at work. We ask, like, if you say you have family issue, they'll say it's fine, or personal issue. The moment they find out you have taken to the bed because you've broken up with your, I think it would be worse again for women. Because I feel like if guys did it, I don't know, I feel like we would have more sympathy for them because they would think it's a big deal or whatever. But if you're a girl and you come in and they'll be like, oh, I'm being emotional again.
It's true, but you can't. I remember one of my friends who watches this is going to know who I'm talking about, but there was a girl at John Lewis, and she had like planned her whole wedding. So she had told us, yeah, you know, this is the material you're going to wear for my traditional wedding. Like, I'm going to Nigeria to do da-da-da-da. Then one day she was just on the floor, like in the stockroom, just crying. Her sister had to come and get her, like from the back.
Why is her sister? They work together?
I think, did she work there as well? I don't even remember. But it was a scene. And I just felt like, do you know what? Yeah, she shouldn't be at work. She should go home.
Not be at work.
You're not in your right mind.
Yeah. Like, it has to actually start becoming acceptable that like this is an acceptable reason to take time off work. It's just, I've seen people. Yeah, there's a guy who, again, his girlfriend broke up with him, which I think is even the hardest one. Yeah, his girlfriend broke up with him, and they've been together like maybe 4 or 5 years.
Oh no!
And he was like, he called me in HR and he was like, oh, I just wanted to let you know. And I was like, okay, well, thanks for telling me. Like, are you okay? He's like, well, I just need to be a better person, don't I?
Oh.
And I was just like, this is not HR. It's like, it's actually not a HR issue. Like, what do you want me to say? I was like, oh, well, let me know if there's nothing I can do for you.
That
Go
is so
home.
sad.
He was obviously not with it, and he didn't want to talk to his team because it was embarrassing. So he called me in HR and he told me, and he was telling me about his life plans to become a better person.
Oh,
and I was
that
just
is
like,
sad.
we actually shouldn't be at work.
It's true. I hope he's doing better.
I don't know. I have no idea. But we just need to. People shouldn't be at work. Like, you're just not. Like, when you have a bereavement, obviously it's not the same, but you are grieving a relationship. You are grieving,
yeah.
Like, when you have a bereavement, people will know that you're going to be doing nonsense. What is the point in coming in if you know that you're just going to be.
You just have to take it.
I also think it depends
hands.
on your age.
I'm not. I might be saying this from a space of not have experienced life to that level, but I think when you're younger, it's worse.
No, I can tell you. Yeah,
so?
I can tell you from experience. Yeah, you've been with your guy for like 2 million years, in it. So, but like, I'd say I have my official. I don't want my friends to know, so I don't even mind sharing it. But I had my first official heartbreak just after I turned 30.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and.
I want to ask you something, but I don't want to ask while we're recording.
You can ask me offline. Not even just after that, maybe like some months after, yeah. And when you have it when you're 20 something, it's different because you're like, when you're like 22, 23 or whatever, it's like, oh man, I'm so sad. Oh look, new boy. Like, that's literally how it works. When you're 30, yeah, and foolishly or unfoolishly, you already made plans. When you're 30, you feel like, oh, this could be my person, and you meet that person and it's not the person. No, that's when you'll take to the bed. That's when you'll take to the bed. That's when you'll feel, wow, will I ever love again? When you're 23, yeah, when you're 24, 25, you know you'll love again. You just bounce back. You literally think, oh, I'm so sad, and your friend will call you. You'll be like, let's go out. Like, that would be it.
It's true.
That would be it.
It's
so
true.
When it happens to people when they're like 30, 35, 40, those are the men and women. I think those are the worst ones.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. No,
That's why,
right.
yeah. When I look at you see in Selling Sunset with Chriselle, she's not my fave. But when that thing happened with her husband, I said, nah, that guy is sick. That guy is
Justin,
really sick.
Yeah,
he's really sick. Like, no.
But look how she bounced back though.
Yeah, but I don't really like her, to be fair. But
I like Chriselle. I think she's grown.
She has. Do you know what I like? I like her new clapback mentality.
Yeah, she's grown.
The way she's been dealing with what's that? Who is it?
The one she accused of being on drugs.
Who is definitely on drugs. that woman.
Yeah. She's been doing well.
She is on drugs. She must be on drugs.
Allegedly.
Let me tell you something, yeah, Velisa. If I accused you, even on this podcast in front of all these people, yeah, if I accused you of being on drugs, would you go and get a drug test?
No.
Why would you not get a drug test?
Because I'm not.
Because you know that you're not on drugs. If someone accuses you of being on drugs and you go and get a drug test to prove your innocence, that is the most guilty thing that I've ever. That's the most guilty thing that I've ever seen in my life. If you guys don't want to start Selling Sunset, like, that won't make any sense. But if you do, I promise you, that is the sign of a very, very guilty person. Very guilty.
Oh gosh,
but yeah, heartbreak leave.
I'm here for it.
One of the forward-thinking companies are going to bring it in soon, I'm sure.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll put it under compassionate, you know?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
When I get big enough that I have the kind of leave policy that can support heartbreak, then I'll introduce it. Maybe I'll be the first.
Yeah, be a pioneer.
Yeah. So there was a statistic on annual leave that 6 in 10 employees cannot use or do not use their full annual leave entitlement every year.
That's crazy to me.
I know you can't relate.
I cannot relate.
I can't relate either because I actually always use mine whenever I was.
Unless you intentionally carry some over to use.
No. Oh yeah, like some people do it when they're like planning on having a baby or going on a trip or something like that. But like, no, this is literally like BAU annual leave. People are not using it.
Really?
Yeah. I'm surprised because I'm like, I get it sometimes with like certain employees, like wherever I've worked, like the CEO or the CFO, they never use it and they have all this holiday carryover and you have to encourage them to take their annual leave and they don't take you seriously and all that stuff. But like the typical employee, I feel like, why don't you take it? I hate chasing people to use their annual leave.
Yeah.
And there's always one job's worth that's like, oh, I just haven't been able to. And it's like, no, you actually could have. Like sometimes there's very rarely the situation where you've been so busy that you haven't
can't
been able to
use
take
it
because that's
for
to
a
do with
whole year.
that's to do with your own time management.
Yeah.
And the one that always pisses me off is when it gets to like the end of the carryover period. So let's say you can carry over 5 days until the 31st of March, and then now maybe because you decide to be courteous that you will tell people at the end of February that they have 5 days to use or 3 days to use, and they're like, I'm sorry, I won't be able to take these, I'm just so busy. My G, you couldn't take it the whole of last year. You've been given an additional 3 months and you're telling me you can't use it. These times the company is not going bankrupt. You're not even in a critical role.
Literally.
Like it just
is it going to fall down? Is the company going to fall down?
And I hate telling people that. Like I as HR, I always tell people that. I'm like, we will be fine. Like we will actually be fine. Take your leave. Honestly. Or when people say stuff like, oh, I've got this leave booked, but I'll just check if I have to cancel it. Or they say dumb things like that. I'm like, don't cancel your leave. And then you go away and you come back and everything was fine. Nothing even changed.
Literally. Who are you?
I literally, even the CEO himself.
A whole machine is running the company. Like you out of all people.
I just think it's mad. Like, especially the bigger the company is here, the worse it gets. Like, if you're in a company that has 1,000 people, 10,000 people, and you are saying that you cannot take annual leave. Can you imagine? It's delusion. And it's not even a good type of delusion. Like, why would you want to?
It's the worst. It's the worst. I always look at those people and think, you're not impressing me.
It actually makes you look worse. I think they think
me.
it makes them look dedicated, but it makes you look delusional.
It makes you look unorganized. It makes you look like your time management is rubbish.
Yes.
It makes you think that you're just delusional. Like who are you? Can you please go and lie down somewhere?
I hate the ones that I'm begging as well. Like I'm emailing, like whenever I was in like operational HR roles, and you're emailing line manager, be like, oh, these are the people in your team who haven't taken their annual leave, and the line manager then asks them, but the line manager has asked their team member, but the team member is now coming back to HR saying that they can't take it. I'm looking at the email of your line manager telling you to take this holiday.
Can you imagine?
I've been in situations before. We had like a particular employee who never took it year after year, and they kept making exceptions for that person to like carry it over. And I was like, we're not carrying it over anymore. That's ridiculous. And these are the days that we're allocating to you to take holiday.
Oh, really?
So you can, like, the working time directive, whatever, it allows you to tell people when to take their holiday, as long as you give them twice the number of days notice. So if you want to take 2 days, you need to give them at least 4 days notice. If you want to take 15 days, you need to give them 30 days notice, which I have done before. Be like, you're taking these 2 weeks off, here's your 4 weeks notice.
Good.
And it's mad, like, you know how embarrassed I would be if someone had to beg me to take my holiday?
Because you look stupid.
You look silly.
Because look, you've gone, you've come back. Oh, everything's fine.
You've wasted everyone's time.
Well, look at that.
Having to have this conversation. Oh, I think I could probably use 2 days here and 3 days here. Take off the whole.
That could never be me. I don't
understand like what type of delusion it is and why people are so in bondage with looking busy.
No. Me never. If my holiday's booked, my holiday's booked.
But what do you think it is? Because that's 60% of people. Like, what
that's a high percentage.
But what could it be?
I think some of it might be manager. Like if you have a manager that also has that pattern of behavior that doesn't take annual leave, you might find it difficult to feel like you can take all your annual leave if you know that person's in front of you. I think it depends on the type of job you have as well. Like maybe if you have a more like a job that doesn't but it's usually the people who are in like high stress jobs that don't take their
But just to say, when you
annual leave.
To be fair, when I was in retail, and the only time I ever booked holiday was when I was going on holiday.
Same.
So, and I think there is a bit of a culture around, and I used to have it as well around, I'm not booking holiday to stay in this country.
That's me.
That's how I used to be.
That's still me.
Yeah, but
unless I have something to do.
Yeah, but I think it's a bit different with you because you will leave the country, I think, quite frequently. Like you go away. Some would say too much. Not me personally. That's what others are saying, isn't it? But you leave the country. Some people say, do you have a job? And people are asking. That's what other people are saying, not me personally. That's what others are saying. Others are saying that you lie about having a job, but that's not me. That's not me. But like you leave frequently, so it's reasonable for you. Like, okay, I'm gonna hold these holiday days for the next. But when people are leaving the country once a year, and like
they're not taking holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think there's a bit of a culture. Like even in COVID, it happened as well. Like loads of people are like, oh, my holiday's been booked, so I'm not going to take my annual leave. Like you can literally take time off work and not leave the country.
No, I'm not gonna lie though. During COVID, I did not touch my holiday.
Yeah, but is that because you were kind of like taking time off without needing to use it?
Yeah.
But some people were just working and not using their days off.
Oh, they missed the trick.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Even we had they were like, oh, we're gonna let you carry over your holiday days. And I remember I was head of people of an organization, and I spoke to the CEO about it. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why are we letting people carry it? They haven't been able to leave the country,
but they can still take holiday.
And they should. During these times, they should be taking them. It's even more important for them to take them.
The only reason I didn't is because I was pregnant, so it just made sense for me to keep them.
Yeah. That's what I would do if I was having a baby or I knew I was going to be having a baby, then I would carry over as many as possible. Yeah,
but I do think it's really important to take your annual leave for whether you're leaving the country or not. It just for your own mental health, for your own spending time with people you love.
Life admin. It's the worst one. It's one of the worst things to take annual leave off, to go and then be working. But sometimes you could just be like, okay, I'll take 3 or 4 days off. And then you have one day where you just bash out all the hours, and then the rest of the time you just rest. Yeah,
like this year, I plan on taking days off to just sleep.
Is that should I be concerned? Why are you not sleeping?
To just do nothing. I mean, sleep.
Yeah,
and
just
do
rest.
Nothing.
Actually rest. There's so much difference between a weekend day and an annual leave day in the week.
Yeah,
the weekend day, people want too many things from you. When you have a day off on a Wednesday or a Tuesday
when
or
you know
Friday,
everyone else is still working.
Everyone else is at work. It's different.
Yeah.
It's actually different. It's not the same as a weekend or a bank holiday. It's very different. Those are the best days. But the best time off in the year is that time over Christmas. That's the only time where you can really go away on leave and come back and nothing's really happened. You don't have to catch up. You don't have to think about doing extra work in advance. That's
why I don't take annual leave around Christmas.
Because nothing happens.
Yeah.
So you're really off anyway.
Excuse me, I'm very much employed. So what sort of question is that?
No, we used to have these people. I think in every organization I've ever worked in, there's been people who don't, the ones where they don't close over Christmas, you have to book the 3 days.
Yeah.
And there'll always be a couple of people that haven't booked it. So you're checking, are you going to be here? So
in
some companies you have to make sure things are covered. But I've always known in my heart of hearts that you're not taking those days off. You're saying you're going to work, but you're not going to do anything. There's going to be no one to know
what you're doing.
I just think, well played.
That's why I don't take holiday.
Well played.
Time.
And even if you're working, you don't have to you can be online, be doing bits here and there. Yeah, but I like to be during that time. I like to be
switch
fully offline. Yeah, no one should ask me any questions.
Last year was the first time that I took those days off, because of when my birthday holiday was rolled into that. But usually, no, I just
no, I don't want to be that. I just hate the idea that something comes in.
It's
and
just
you're
you
actually expecting me to pick it up.
Yeah.
Not that if you text me on my personal phone and you beg me, I might help you. I like that one. I like the gratitude that comes with knowing that I'm on leave and if I pick this up, it's me being nice.
That's
not that.
True.
And when you're in senior roles, the CEO will be deputizing you or doing
silly
things like that in small.
But it's after
companies.
the Christmas party, all that stuff is done. You should be all right.
No, remember I told you about that stalking case I had?
Yes.
That was one of the times I had to work between Christmas and New Year.
Sad times.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Things that come up from a HR perspective that need urgent attention between Christmas and New Year are usually pretty urgent.
It's true. For them to just pop up like that.
Yeah, so
yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'd rather not be.
You said you had a dilemma.
I did. I saw an interesting one. It's actually a Reddit dilemma. I saw it. We should do another Reddit episode soon.
We should. I think people enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had some really good feedback. So we'll record one of those soon. I thought this was interesting because, it's just about HR people and we're not infallible. Or most of us are not. It is titled, Need Advice Addressing a Situation with New Head of HR. Hey, so I work a professional job that I'm pretty good at. I'm at a medium-sized company that's just moved past startup phase. Many people seem liberal, but we've only recently gotten a real HR person and we definitely don't have a DEI person or anything like that. Pretty typical startup stuff. I was planning to talk to our HR person because I'm currently trying to move to a different state. I googled her first, found her Facebook, and all her public posts are Trumper stuff. Big rant about why she voted for him, screenshots of Ben Shapiro tweets, memes shared from pages with a lot of transphobic jokes. Nothing blatantly hateful said on her page, but some clear dog whistles. I could probably brush it all off if she wasn't the person leading the HR department, but having her be the person in charge of creating a good workplace has me pretty uncomfortable. I've been considering leaving for a bit and I'm pretty confident in my ability to find something else. So I'm pretty set on leaving once I've got a solid offer lined up. Would love some confirmation that that's the right call though. Although, should I address this in my resignation or should I just say that I was offered a new role that I've chosen to accept? I'd like to make an attempt to warn some other co-workers who may not fare well under her, but I'm unsure of how to do that as I mostly work remotely. Any advice or input would be appreciated. Thanks.
I'm in two minds because technically those are her own personal views and shouldn't play a part in who she is at work and how she views things, and she has to be objective. But everybody's human, so those things will definitely creep into your everyday at work in terms of how you view things, approach things, initiatives you want to put in place, how people approach you about things and your thought process. Like, it doesn't just disappear because you're at work. But at the same time, like, also that person Googled that individual and it wasn't something that was shared within like a work capacity because it's personal.
Is there anything wrong with what she shared? Obviously the transphobic stuff, yes. But the stuff about being a Trump supporter.
Technically, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just her political views. Yeah.
So I think, well, I've got a question actually. Do you think it's important for the political views of a person in a HR role to align with those of the company? So for instance, if you're a company and you've been out on the internet talking about Black Lives Matter and then you've got a new head of HR who's about all lives matter, does it matter?
I think it does. Because I feel like even HR individuals should know who they're going to work for. But then at the same time, like, what company is going to really come out and say all lives matter, for example? Or what company?
No company is going to, I don't think any company will come out and say all lives matter. But some companies will come out and say Black Lives Matter. Like, say for instance.
Yeah, people will show if they're liberal, if they're like left wing, but they're not going to show if they're right wing.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a left leaning company, is it appropriate? And who has policies which support that? So, for instance, let's say you've got a policy on, gender neutral bathroom, or you have this person might be responsible for implementing a new mentoring scheme for Black employees. Is it then appropriate for the person in that role to maybe have they might still be capable of implementing those things, but if their kind of ideologies are not aligned with that, is it going to impact their ability or their desire to do that as well as they can?
Do you know what? I'm really thinking about it, and actually I think they can, because I'm just thinking about myself and working in different companies where I didn't necessarily agree with certain things on an individual level. And some companies I couldn't cope with those ideologies that they had, but there's been others where even though I don't agree, I could still do my job. So I think it's possible.
Yeah, it depends, I guess, how strongly you are in either direction.
Yeah,
it's hard because like you can't well, you can judge someone for their political associations or their views, but you're not supposed to.
Not supposed
You're
to,
not supposed to. But
and
also,
everyone doesn't think the same.
exactly. But I don't know. I think it's really hard to have someone in a HR role that does that. And do you know what it is? I think it is a little bit unfair, because when we think about Trump supporters, we have a big stereotype in our heads about why they support Trump and what kind of person they are, and whether they're like a raging racist or homophobe or you know, misogynist or whatever that might be, and that might not even be fair. So, and then again, I think the stuff around transphobic jokes is actually a bigger issue. But
I think I would, obviously that person said that they will probably end up leaving, but I think I would, if I wasn't going to leave, I would just want to see how this kind of plays out, because that person is not going to see what this HR person does on a day-to-day basis and how their views play out in the workplace. It's not going to be until, unfortunately, maybe like a world event happens where they see how HR navigates that situation and what they advise leadership to do, for example. Or it's not going to come out until you're involved in some form of case, and maybe there's something that you have as a characteristic or something that you share that you know does't align with that person, and you see how they navigate that situation.
The person will never see it. But for instance, if for instance you are anti-LGBTQ, and then someone now raises a grievance saying that someone has been homophobic or transphobic or biphobic or whatever phobic to them, are you going to be the best person for that? Like, are you going to believe that person? Are you going to, do you know what I mean? Is your bias going to creep in? And the thing is, we can't really apply that to everyone, because everyone has bias. So the same way, as a black employee, if I was to get a case about race, I also have a bias if I have a case about racial discrimination. So I guess it's whether your bias is likely to help or hinder employees in the company. But it's just really difficult. I wouldn't let that be the reason I left. But the person said that they were already thinking about leaving. So I would, if I was already thinking about leaving, I wouldn't let this impact what I'm going to do anyway. And one thing I would definitely do is snitch. I would tell whoever they report into, whoever, unless you know that person is the same and maybe hired them on that basis. But if you think that this is something that the person who hired them doesn't know, I would tell. Like a canary.
Yeah, I think it's important. Have you ever Googled like somebody that you work with?
I've Googled almost everybody that I work with in any sort of close capacity.
Yeah, there was before I started a company, I checked out who would be my manager, and it put me at peace when I saw like how cool she was and how, like, you know, she seemed like she had a personality outside of work, and that's what put me at peace for accepting the job.
My sister had an interview a while ago, and in the public sector they'll tell you like who's going to interview you, their like level or whatever. So I Googled the lady, and the first thing that came up was her TikTok.
Oh, really?
And it was shambolic. Like, it was so like, after you'd seen it, there's no way you could possibly take that person seriously.
Really?
Like, it was all like her doing voice. She was kind of senior-ish, but her doing voiceover, like doing TikToks over like specific sounds, like making like jokes about just lots of, there was nothing offensive. It was just very immature for like a grown woman. Like, it was very immature. So I think it definitely impacted how my sister, it didn't stop my sister from moving forward with the job, but it definitely, knowing that would be her manager, I think it definitely made her feel like, wow, like, this is not the level of professionalism. But obviously it's not a professional context. And then when she went to the interview, it was like, wow, this person seems professional in this setting. But having already seen how they are outside, I think it just kind of made her feel like it's a bit weird.
Yeah. I can imagine. But yeah, I do think you should Google. I think sometimes LinkedIn isn't enough. If I have, for instance, an interview, I would always Google the person. And that's what makes me think, is it like,
if I'm interviewing someone, I'll always Google them. If I'm being interviewed by someone, I have their name, or I'm interviewing someone, I'll always Google them. But is that not what people do?
I don't know.
If you had an interview and you knew who was interviewing you, obviously you would check your LinkedIn, but would you not Google them?
Sometimes. I haven't all the time, but I have sometimes. Yeah, I think it depends.
I'm proper like, I'll do it. I don't know. I just don't want any surprises.
I hear you.
I don't want any surprises, and I also like to, like, you know what I mean. I'm keen, so I also want to see what they're doing there, see if there's any affinity there that I can use to my advantage. But yeah, if I see anything that's too red flaggy, no.
Yeah, no, I actually hear that. I think it's important to Google and LinkedIn people and just see like their story as well.
Where they came from.
Yeah, but I will say that when I'm Googling people, I'm not like that person coming across political views and stuff. I'm not necessarily looking for that.
No, you're just looking to find out a little bit about them. Like,
yeah, and if stuff like that comes up, it comes up.
Yeah, same. So like if I Google somebody, for instance, sometimes like they might have been on their previous company website and it might say a bit about their like professional history, or I don't know, maybe they run like a marathon or do you know, like stuff like that, not like actively looking for things. But if I come across anything, then
yeah. Or do you know what else I do? I put in, because of my Twitter algorithm, I've assumed anyway, if I search something on Twitter, I get like black people's tweets first. So sometimes I will put in the company name, like sake of a company I'm going to interview for, and I'll put in, I don't know, like some form of keyword to see what comes up on Twitter. I
never use Twitter to do it.
But I always put in Twitter to see stuff.
No, I never
I do, because I feel like that's where people tend to be quite unfiltered. Yeah.
That makes
so
sense.
Yeah, I will go there and see what people are saying about a company.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Have you Googled yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you happy with the content?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a cousin who married someone with the same name as me.
Oh, really?
So if you Google my name, it will tell you about a book I wrote about how to keep your marriage alive or something.
Oh, well, love that.
I didn't write it. It's not me. So, it's like how to get your marriage back or something like that. Like,
okay.
But that's not me. But mine is quite like tame. My IMDb comes up.
Why have you got an IMDb, please?
Because I'm just that kind of person that have an IMDb.
Why?
Someone created it for me.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm just saying, have you got an IMDb?
No.
Wow.
I should though.
It's embarrassing.
I should. I was an extra on the bill one time.
Really?
Many years ago, yes.
My IMDb was created because I was on Channel 4 News and they credited me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my IMDb's dead. I literally have an IMDb. So my IMDb, I found that out from Googling myself.
Did you?
Yeah, I was Googling myself like back like a couple of
that
years
is
ago.
well.
And so I was like, wow, IMDb, who is this? And I saw, yep, there I am. Appeared on Channel 4 News.
Wow.
I need some more credits though. I have been on the TV otherwise, but I might try and see if I can get myself a few more credits.
Why not? I do feel like the pod has made me more discoverable though on Google.
But your full name?
Yeah, because stuff, whenever, I don't know how or why that's happened, because my full name is not on
any pod stuff.
It's not on my LinkedIn. It's nowhere. Like you won't find it. So I don't even know how.
Maybe the CIPD stuff.
Oh, it is CIPD. You're right. But all like basically doing all this stuff like the pods, Black in HR, it's made me more discoverable. Yeah, it's made me more discoverable online, which I'm not really a fan
Mine is
of.
literally completely unrelated. The only time my name has been linked with anything to do with any content I create was the Metro. So I didn't give them my full name. Like I said, don't put it in. So if you read, I was in the Metro like a couple of years ago, it only had like my first name. But whoever took the pic, when they did the pictures, they
put your
named
full
one
name.
of the pictures my full name. So even though it wasn't in the article, because one of the pictures was called that, it just kept like it. When you Googled me, it would come like right at the top. So I had to fight with them for like a year to get it removed. Yeah. Because I just don't want that. Like when people use my full name, it's in a professional context. I don't want them looking around my living room. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not.
That's fair. We will attach Lola's living room to the.
No, it's just weird. Like I just felt like that's not what I want
I hear you.
They're different things.
I hear you.
They're different things. Do you know what? We've had obviously the conversation about LinkedIn and like content and all that other kind of stuff. So it's kind of like that. I like to have this separation.
Yeah, I'm sure people have noticed that you can't find everybody hates HR on LinkedIn from us.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But we're considering it.
We are
regularly.
It's a tough one for me. I think more so for me than Lola, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I work for myself. So
exactly.
It's fine. Like when I used to create content whenever I was employed, I literally would never I used to find colleagues and block them. Like if I ever came across any colleague, I would just block them because I just felt like it's very separate. But now I don't care.
Do you know what? For me, it's not even LinkedIn. It's social media that scares me. So, for example, like
it's the follow throughs to find your
like people at work where I work now and where I've worked previously. They know about Black in HR. Mm-hmm. They've seen videos. They've seen content.
And you put Black in HR on your LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's there, right? Mm. But I'm not having conversations the way I am with Everybody Hates HR. Yeah. So like one of my fears, and maybe I shouldn't put it out there because I don't want someone to go and do it, and but it's to like search through things, edit, so that it's misconstrued. Yeah. It's like when Molly May said, oh, everybody has the same 24 hours. That's not what she said. Like there was more to what she said. Yeah. But that's what became the soundbite. Yeah. So that's what bothers me about.
Yeah. No, do you know, it's the same for me. And also, like, for me, it's, even though I'm not employed anymore, it's about clients. Like, I have different clients. Like, I've got clients now that work in marketing. I've got clients that work in fintech. I've got clients that work in accounting. And, like, certain clients will understand and I am pretty transparent now. Like, if it comes up, I'll say. But, like, some clients will get it. And some clients, won't. They just won't. Yeah. Like, some clients, like, even though I would hope that they understand that, like, you're an old white man or you're an old white woman, they might hear it and be clutching their pearls like she's calling people white. Yeah. Like, and I hope I don't have any clients like that. But some clients, depending on the work that I do, it's not even important for me to know them that well. So I don't know how they might take it. Yeah. But I'm definitely at a point now where I'm like, I don't care. Like I'm getting there.
Yeah. But you're further ahead than me.
Yeah. But I think I have that luxury because no one can do anything to me. Yeah.
Must be nice.
It is nice.
So work for yourselves.
It is nice. Oh, people are fighting us on TikTok though. About that Spotify thing.
You know, I read the comments actually and I just thought, shut up. Like, what are you talking about? Some people just don't read or listen.
So we posted a clip from a couple of episodes ago where we was talking about that intern from Spotify that rejigged the Spotify Wrapped I guess, what is it?
The wrap up.
Yeah, the Spotify Wrapped idea or the whatever. She rejigged it, made it like this social thing, and that was her idea. She presented it on her actual last day, which I found out, and they took it and they used it and whatever. That was her job, right? And we spoke about my thoughts on it, and Velisa's thoughts on it was that, well, it was her job. You know, they could have maybe done something a bit more for her, but like, that's literally employment. You get paid either way. And people are like, no, you can always credit people. Like, you should credit somebody if they do a good thing. Like, how does she want to be credited?
Yeah. Someone was like, not even the her, person like who designed the night tick. Like, it's not the same thing.
They were like, oh, they hired someone to design the night tick and they gave us some money, but when it did really well, they gave us some more. And I'm like, yeah, that's nice of them.
It's literally not the same thing. If I work as an intern in HR for a company and I build something out that helps, you know, streamline their processes and it makes their job easier, they should now
their money. So they're going to give you the cost saving.
Now, exactly. What should they do now? Or am I hired as an intern where they pay me on a monthly basis? And that's my job.
Yeah, people in the comments were just like, no, that's not fair. No, they don't even pay some interns where they paid this one. So where are we now? But yeah, we are being a bit better on socials now.
We are. We're getting there. Yeah. We're getting there.
Also, last week we were saying, oh yeah, get your tickets. There's a few left. By the time the episode came out, tickets were done.
We're sold out.
We're sold out.
Woo!
Love that for us. And we were like, yeah, if there's any tickets left, and in my heart of heart, I knew there was going to be no tickets left by the time people came.
I put it on my my Snapchat. Yes, I still use Snapchat. And I said, not me and Beyonce having things in common.
It's one of the main things that you have in common. One of the many. There's other things that you have in common.
It's true, but that's the main. We both sell out shows.
Oh my God, you are so gassed. You're so gassed. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a really good. And like we were considering that, but up in the capacity. But it was like no, like let us come with the people that we initially planned for.
Yeah, no.
And if you didn't make it, you didn't make it. Start saving your coins.
Sorrow's press.
But yeah, we're sold out. And it's like just over a week away now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is really coming.
Okay, don't do that. My anxiety. But thank you, and can't wait to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm so excited by it.
Yeah, I need to get my outfit sorted.
That's the only thing that I think. Yeah, we need to decide what we're gonna do.
Like the week that it's on is it's such a crazy week.
Yeah.
For me in terms of appearance. So I just don't know what I'm doing.
You need to sort it out this week, obviously. But early this week.
I mean, by the time this comes out, I would have seen Beyonce.
I was thinking, why are you shaking your head like this? Oh yeah, Beyonce. So Velisa's going to Beyonce. She didn't even spare one thought for me, not once. Even when the tickets, she didn't even think, she's nothing.
He did.
Do you see the crowd at Stockholm?
I did.
They were so bad. Like they were literally like it was bare people's parents. I don't even know. And there was one guy dancing in the crowd, and everyone was just looking like.
Do you know what? Speaking of parents, my in-laws have gone to see Beyonce today.
Who got them tickets?
Their daughter. Yeah. Date night.
Are they going to appreciate it?
I love that.
Are they going to appreciate it?
Do you know what? My father-in-law.
So when you're saying in-laws, you mean your mother and your father
in-laws? Yeah, they went together.
Wow.
Yeah, my future father-in-law to be, he appreciates music. So even if he doesn't know like new Beyonce,
he would appreciate the.
Yeah, and I believe that my mother-in-law does appreciate Beyonce.
Okay.
But yeah, so
people's mums are going. People's parents that don't even care that much.
They're doing romance.
I love that for them.
Yeah, it's cute, isn't it?
It is cute. I really believe in parents like
keeping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's sweet.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get their perspective. And my sister-in-law went. She's doing like Club Renaissance.
With the
she's down. I don't even know. I've told her to just send me everything today. But I think Beyonce's gonna give next energy in London.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
because we're not like
we're not their mates.
Paris looked like it was popping.
Yeah. It's cute. You know, I got married there, Blue conceived there, all of that stuff. Great. But London,
Pharrell was there.
He was. So was Serena Williams. So were the Kardashians.
Also, Kris Jenner.
Yeah,
she looking different.
I mean, I love Kris. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not
a Kardashian fan, but I love Kris.
She had a facelift, I think. And I saw a video of her on the Clock app, which I haven't mentioned this episode once, and her face was literally looking like stiff.
Yeah, I saw her leave early, but yeah, I saw Serena there. I saw Pharrell there.
Serena's having a baby.
Yeah, did you see the little video when she told Olympia that she's?
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
So cute. I'll send it to you. It's so cute. So cute. But yeah, so by the time this comes out, we'll have seen Beyonce. So that's what I'll be talking about next week.
That episode, I'm not going to be here.
I might come with my fan.
What are you wearing?
Oh God, do you know what? I went into Zara the other day and it's literally Renaissance galore. Like everything is silver in there.
Really? Is that because of Beyonce?
Yeah.
Really?
But it's just not my vibe, so I might just get some face gems or something.
Can you get like a hat?
I thought about it, but no, because then I have to wear a wig. Oh my gosh, after this, I'm gonna show you what my friend wore today, who's doing the beehive bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it crazy?
It's proper Renaissance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like other people would be really, you know when people tell you that like, oh, you should eat your food. There's people starving in Africa. I really hate those people, but I'm going to say something which is equally as annoying. There's loads of other people who would have loved to go to Beyonce and they would have
what's happening here?
They would have they will put in a lot of effort. So I feel like you have the privilege to be going to Beyonce, that you should be putting in effort to go and not just wearing anything. Do you know how many people are?
We should go see Flavor.
Do you know what? My one day in-laws to be maybe are Igbo, and they are very much going.
Are they? My mum
Yes.
fancies Flavour. If you don't know who Flavour is, it's a Nigerian Igbo artist. He's got one of those trending songs on
Which one?
the new champion.
Oh yeah. No, but I don't really controversial.
I mean, it's not Beyonce, but we can
go see Flavour.
Yeah.
But the thing is, those of you who listen to Nigerian music, maybe this will be familiar to you, and those who don't, you should. It's good. A lot of Igbo artists, they really like singing in Igbo.
I mean, okay.
No, the thing is,
What does a shake do, please?
Okay, wait. The thing is, let me tell you something. You are not Nigerian, yes, and you can engage.
I have
in
Nigerian blood,
Yeah, I know,
and I have Igbo blood.
No, but this is
if we want to get down.
No. There's a point that I'm making. You're not Nigerian, but a lot of Yoruba music, you can really engage in it. Like, even if there's parts in Yoruba, the gist of the song, you're you're unavailable. You get it? Like, but the gist of the song, you could, even if you still get it. Even Ashake.
It's a lot of Ashake.
Even Ashake is more on the Yoruba side. But even like his songs, the chorus, or there'll be something for you to be like, okay, this is what this song is about. Okay. I can listen to some Igbo music and I don't even know what they're saying. I don't know what it's about. Is this a love song? Are we fighting? Like, I don't know. I'll know by the people in the video.
But they got like Duncan Almighty. I love that song.
Okay, from the last 10 years, please.